There you go. Page number.
Did some of you get a chance to read ahead and kind of flip through the drawing and maybe fill out some of the sleeve sheet?
I know I had one person. Andrew, you had a question?
Yeah, on Wednesday, I was having a hard time with my internet, and I don't know if I was able to sign out or not. Like, my computer glitched out and stuff. I just wanted to make sure I don't get marked absent.
Or left early?
No. Trust me, dude, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Maybe just Eric's house because he lives down the street, but no, yeah, I was having issues, so I just want to make sure. I don't know really how to correct it, so.
I'll double check for you and
Okay.
get that corrected for you.
All right, thank you, man.
All right. Robert.
Yeah, last week you guys had said that the sleeves were like 6 inches, I believe, and they're not. They're only 2.5 inches. Because if you go back and look at drawing E5, it shows a picture of the bar joists are, and the slab is right on top of it, and the bar joists are at a negative 2.5 inches. So that means that the slab would only be 2.5 inches.
Is that for all of them? Because
No, that is for the second floor.
Yeah, I know it said it varied in different spots.
Yeah, that is just for the second floor. And so that's what, when I went through, because I went through and looked at them all. And then, now I understand that this assignment is, because I went through and was reading up on this assignment. This assignment is basically showing how you get the clashes of the sleeves and how you fix them. Now, wouldn't it have, just wondering, but wouldn't it be like if you guys had, you know how the projector's paper is, the clear paper? And you did like overlays over the structural with the layouts, it would actually show easier.
Right.
If you draw it up, I mean, if you guys draw it up, or if we draw it up, we could. I mean, you got the see-through paper in your book, in the back of your book, the 18 by 11, 18 by 11, whatever size that the pages are. I mean, there's that. There's which is the other drafting paper.
Yeah, no. I was talking about like if you had clear paper that you could overlay a drawing over another one, so you could actually see clashes, like almost basically what a model does with the computer, with CAD and all that. Exactly. So how the detailers are actually able to tell the difference between where sleeves, why they're going to have clashes beforehand.
Yeah, that would be old school vellum paper.
Yeah, basically, because we all, like I said, can't all get the actual programs to, to do the models.
Right, exactly. So you said it was an E5?
On E5, if you look at the side, it shows you at the drawing, which E5 is the second floor, which would be the second floor ceiling. But I'm referring to the drawing as far as on the right-hand side of E5, how it shows the structural, it shows that how they would mount their fixtures. And you look at the bar joist, and then the floor slab is right on top of the bar joist.
Right.
So that tells me, and especially with going back to page 27, saying that at a negative 6 inches, the bar joist the sleeves were 6 inches. So that would tell me that this sleeve, being how the bar joists are at a negative 2.5 inches, that this slab would be 2.5 inches.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, because if the electricians are using that as to hook up theirs, the floor slab is right on top of the bar joist, right at the bar joist, right? On E5, if you look at the picture on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I'm looking at E5 right now.
anything. I've seen the scale drawing right there.
I mean, because if you, like I said, if you go between that and you go to the structural drawings where they give you the note three that the top of the bar joists are at 2.5 inches, negative 2.5 inches. Go inside the two, it tells you that the slab's 2.5 inches. I mean, which seems real thin slab, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, this is 1965.
Is that when it was made?
Yeah, about somewhere around there, 62, 65.
On top of the fact that it has a wire mesh that goes over it.
Yes.
Because if you read the next note down on the structural drawing, it uses a wire mesh that goes on top of it. And also on the fact that if you look at on your structural drawing between column 6 and column 2, it says 14B 22 at a negative 2.5 inches in the parentheses, or in the what the hell those things are called.
In what section?
On the structural drawing on S3, where between column 2 and column 6, you'll see that the numbers say 14B 22, and then it says a negative 2.5 inches.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
1 and 5 has a negative 5 inches.
Because that's on the beam.
Yeah.
That is the outside layer on the beam, and that's the negative 5 inches on the outside part. Which, if you read up in the drawing on the book, it does explain that. That you've got the outside border that's outside the center of the beams.
Yeah, and then also it says note 3 at the bottom there, top of all bar joists at negative 2.5 inches. Number
Yep.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Where did we get 6? That was the previous floor, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the first floor or
Yeah, I think first floor.
first floor. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think you're correct, Robert.
Yep.
Good job. Lovely. You had a hand up. Your question got answered, or? Still there, Robert?
Yeah. I was just going over the fact that I was just reiterating that we were talking about how, like, the last drawing that we did, the deck was 6 inches, and it was saying the same thing, the beam joists or whatever they're called.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the bar joist.
So usually, like with the first floor, it's always like the podium deck, and that's always the thickest one. So, because we were both doing that, the 2.5 inch thick cans, you know what I'm saying? It checks out.
Yeah.
Are we gonna run with that or what?
Yeah, I think it checks out.
Mhm.
I think we're well. Yeah, it's 2.5, and it's not 6.
Oh, that's some crazy Robinson decking right there, boy. That's some like. That's
Yeah, it's not even Robinson decking. That's what it is. That's why, because this building was built back in the 60s.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah, give me a second there, Daniel. Or David.
All right. I can't open it.
Any more questions? All right, so elevation will be off 86. Second floor elevation 313.75.
Yeah, this was a nice little moment of silence, huh? All right. So, are you guys having trouble with anything besides learning how to fill out a sleep schedule, or you guys got that pretty much down? Was that explained to you correctly? Did you guys check out the tutorial that we had on Thursday? I think they posted
It's
the
up
video.
on the website. Yep.
Yeah. So we went in a little bit more in depth on how to fill out the sleep schedule, a little bit of ISO drawing, and pretty much we just did some review on how to do this. If you guys did check it out, just want to know if it was helpful or not. You know, pretty much from here, we can go ahead and continue. It's the same as last week. I mean, we don't have anything else but to read and follow the directions of what the chapter says to do. We can help you guys find out on the details, like I said, on the joist, on the thickness of the slabs and all that stuff. The clearances from the closets, going to, you know, the drawings. There's some occasions on the plumbing that you have to go to. You have to go to the detailed book where it shows you. Let me see right here. The specifications, and it tells you, you know, whether you have to do something a certain way, what the materials have to be, like the sleeves have to be cast iron, steel, carbon steel. Gives you the thickness on it. Gives you cutting and patching.
You guys are very quiet today. Long weekend?
Here we can see that all coverings all covering work shall be done by approval of subcontractor. So if you're the contractor, you have to actually, you can't do it yourself. You have to actually call somebody out here to do it for you. Cover all cold, hot water lines, and all hot circulation piping throughout the building with 1-inch thickness fiberglass, which we usually do, right? We call the insulators to come out here and they cover the piping up. But here's your dimension, 1-inch thick fiberglass. So if you had any questions on how thick the insulation was, that would be there. And it shows in other locations as well, but that's one right there.
Hey, David, can we go over an example for the sleeve schedule? Ricardo's needing a brush up on it.
Yeah, no problem. Here we go. So let me get a sleeve schedule out. Just pull one off the back here. Remember, guys, always cut away from you. So here we have to find out the center of our sleeves, correct? The center of the sleeve is going to be right here. That's going to be the center of our radiant heat return line. All right, but in order to get to this location, we're going to have to add some measurements. So this measurement goes from the outer wall all the way over to the outer wall here. That's 9'3", plus the 4 inches of the width of these two walls. And then from there, we go over 8'2" to the outside of that wall. This wall is the same as the outside of this wall. Okay, so we can transfer that all the way up to here, right? And it tells you right here that is 2 feet from wall to wall. So we subtract 2 feet to get to this wall. All right, and then if we look in the detail, it tells us, well, it asks us for the clearance, and that shows on figure 2.27. All right, so this is the room, right? The 2 feet, the 2 foot room. And then, no, actually it's over here. My bad. Whoa, what happened? Hold on. Here we go. Here's the 2-foot room, right? And then there's the corner. That's where we ended up when you subtract 2 feet. And here's the clearance. That's your 3/4 inch radiant heating return line. And that's the center of it. Okay. So that'll be your sleeve right there. So you would have to add all that up to subtract it. Okay, so that's all done for you right here. No, here it is. Right, this is all done for you right here. The 9'3" room, the 4-inch wall, the 8.5-inch other room, minus a 2-foot closet. Then you got your 3-inch clearance. That is 6'2". Center line of columns 1 and 5. So these are your columns 1 and 5. All right. So that center line of columns 1 and 5. And if you look at your compass, right, you're going to be going west. So west of columns 1 and 5. Center line of radiant heating return would be your location at 16'2". So here, we're gonna go with the 3-inch sleeve. Oh, actually, sorry. We'll call that sleeve number 1. Sleeve number 1, right? And the diameter of the sleeve, we're gonna go with 3 inches. Okay. We're gonna leave this at, well, with the new findings today, we're gonna be going with what?
1.5. 2.5.
What's all that noise?
Hey, Ricardo, is this making sense for you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's making sense once David's like, once you're showing it. I mean, it makes way better sense, you know. But when I was over here sitting down, trying doing it myself, you know, I was trying to use my my ruler or whatnot, and I mean,
right.
and I know how you guys have said just to go off the measurements there, you know. And I mean, it's so much easier once you show me. I mean, I'm there and I'm seeing it, and it seems, you know, not so hard. But as soon as I try doing it myself, I don't know, I just freeze for some reason.
Are you following along through as David is doing it through the book? Are you?
Yeah, I'm right here, yeah, following along right now.
The same way?
So I mean, I'm gonna give it another shot right now. With that David's doing right now, like I said, it made more sense.
Right. Good. Yeah. So that's exactly what we need you guys to do. As you read through the book, go and you're getting stuck, or if you can't find something, let us know so we can help you work through it, and we can see so you can see how to figure out, you know, whatever problem, you know, or whatever you can't find.
Okay. So, all right. And when will this be? When do we have to turn this assignment in? Next week or this Wednesday?
It'll be on Tuesday, 11:59 of next week.
Okay. Write that down. All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. So here we want to find out the material. All right. So we go to our spec book, and M114 provide all pipe passing through footing, floor, slabs, masonry walls with steel pipe sleeves. All right. Steel pipe sleeves, the inside diameter of which shall be at least minimum 1/2 inch greater. All right, so we go ahead and you can highlight M114 here on sleeves, just so you know. So if you want to reference that, good. And that's in this book, the building specifications book. All right. And that's how you know the material, it's gonna be in carbon steel.
David,
Yeah.
below that, on your spec there, it said IPS, so iron pipe steel.
Oh, there you go. There's all kinds of steel, guys. Iron pipe steel, IPS.
Carbon steel is definitely the most common.
Yeah. And then we're gonna go right here. We're gonna go to the floor, right?
Yep.
And then you're gonna do your elevation. I believe the elevation of this slab. If you go to your P5, does it have it on P5?
The S2, 313.75, second floor elevation.
On your S2 drawings?
Yep.
All right, let me show that real quick. So you're gonna go with your big old
Print
plan
book.
book, and then you're gonna go to your S2. Here we go.
Should be note number 1 right there in the center.
Go right here. Yeah. Here we go. S2, number 1, finished floor at elevation 13.75. All elevations on the plan refer to 3.375. All right, so that'll be the first floor framing plan. First floor.
Second floor,
That's-
S2.
S2, that's right. The second floor elevations will be at 326. See that, guys? So here on your big plan book, you have notes. So finished floor 326 elevation, and we're working on the second floor. So we go ahead. We go elevation 326 feet. All right. Now, our distance A, it's going west between 1 and 5. So we got this direction, right? And that's 16'2". So our distance A would be, it would be 16.
Column lines.
Column numbers 1 and 5. We're going to go 16.
The center line of 3/4 inch R,
Yeah.
RHR, right?
Yeah. To center line of 3/4 inch RHR. Let's say west. That's actually, we got to do west.
Yeah.
We're gonna go west. West to center line of the 3/4 inch radiant heating return is 16'2". All right, so what we're saying is, what this is saying here, column lines 1 and 5, columns like 1 and 5, right? West to center line. So we're going west all to get to the center line. All right, we're going west to get to the center line. And then you're describing to center line of what? And then you're gonna, of the 3/4 inch radiant heating return is 16'2". All right. Now we got the west, but now we have to get the north, or the what is it? Yeah, the north, right?
Yep.
So in order to get the north, we got to figure out our distance, right? So we have to do the math again. Now here we can see that 10'6", right, is from there to here, right? And there's a 6.5 inch to, hold on. Let me fix what's going on here. I don't know, I can't fix that. So there's 6.5 inches here to center, I believe. All right. And then after you get to there, to the wall here, you can add your 3'6". After your 4 inches, you can add your 3'6", right? And that 3'6" would get you to the outside wall, which is the same as this outside wall, which is the same as this outside wall. All right. And that wall, here you have 2 inches. That's the size of that wall. All right. And if you go to here, it shows you the 6.5 inches plus the room, 10'6", plus your, so it gives you the 6.5 inches, right? Plus this whole room, which is 10'6", plus your 4 inches, plus your 3'6", right? And then you have the size of your wall. The size of your wall here, your 2 inches. I guess this 3'6" is the same as this 3'6", right? And for some reason they kept going 8'6.5" all the way down to this wall. And then what they did here, plus the plaster wall at the pipe chase, 2 inches. Oh, that's for a different one. I'm sorry. But that's how they did it. Right here it is. Your 6.5, your 10'6", your 4, your 3'6", your closet, your 2 inches, and then your clearance. Okay, that's 15, 3.5. All right. And if you see your clearance here, that's your 3-inch clearance. All right, so you came down north all the way to here, then you got your 2 inches, right? And then you got your clearance to get to the center line. Boom. And there you are, to the center line of that. So the math of that is here. And what they did is, like I said, they went from your to center, your 6.5 inches, plus your 10'6", plus your 4 inches, plus your 3'6", plus your 2 inches, right? That'll get you inside of the wall, plus your 3-inch clearance. So here, you're gonna go column line, columns number 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2, you're gonna be going north, because the compass is here, and you're gonna be going north, right? Going down from column 1 and 2, north to center line of 3/4 inch. Radiant heat return is 15 foot 3.5. boom. All right. The drawing we use to find that is here at the bottom. It says drawing A3. All right. So the drawing you use is drawing A3. We're not adding any special notes to this. All right. Right now we're trying to verify this, but I believe we were at 6 inches before. But if that changes, we'll change it. We're just trying to verify that the slab is not 2 inches in some spots and 6 inches in the other spots. But that's how you would fill out Steve's schedule for that one line. Now on the next line that you do, you'll go number 2, right? And then you'll say what line it is here. Whether it's a secondary water supply or a vent or a waste. Okay, then you'll give your diameter of your sleeve, not of the pipe, but out of the sleeve. What material it is: iron, steel, floor,
Hey,
and
David,
your elevation. Yeah,
got a question from Devin.
Devin, come on.
For the radiant heat, since it's in between, it's in the slab, wouldn't it be half of that? Because inside the slab, it wouldn't be a full sleeve?
No, the sleeve has to be fully penetrate from all the way.
All the way through?
Yeah,
But if
the sleeves have to penetrate.
The radiant heat doesn't go all the way through, though. It's in the slab, right? Correct?
Well, it has to penetrate right. Like the sleeves is where they penetrate, and then if it goes into somewhere, that'll be a different story. But
You're talking about the length not being the full 2.5 inches?
Yeah. Just the length of the sleeve, because it's inside the slab, not going through the slab.
Correct.
what,
Are you talking about the penetration itself, or?
Or the radiant heat for the piping going to it. Because isn't there radiant heat in the slab, and the water is being fed down to that radiant heat, then it wouldn't
well,
go.
it has to go from floor to floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where it's going from floor to floor. I know what you mean, though. It's the radiant heat. So you're saying that the piping is in the actual slab of the floor,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
But they want to know where you're penetrating at to get to the next floor. So this one would be going to the floor.
That radiant heat is going down to the first floor too, as well.
It's like a T connection.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah, if it was like an elbow or something like that, you probably wouldn't use the full sleeve.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Good question.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't make 3 1/4 inch piping. On the
Or for Stefan's question.
So Stefan's question, yeah, it says,
Yeah.
he's asking, why do you have it as a 3 inch diameter sleeve? Shouldn't it be 3 1/4 inch pipe, right? Plus 1 inch insulation, which is 1 3/4 inches, plus a 1/2 inch space, which is 1 inch insulation on 3/4 inch pipe, that's 1 3/4, plus 1 inch insulation. Why do you have twice the insulation?
1/2 inch on each side,
Yeah.
right? So it's a 1/2 inch. So the sleeve has to be, you have to account 1/2 inch on each side, not just on one side. So it'd be 1 inch 3/4 pipe, 1 inch insulation, 1 3/4, and then
Don't you have 1 inch insulation, which means you have 1 inch on one side of the pipe and 1 inch on the other side of the pipe? It doesn't say it's 1/2 inch insulation.
correct.
He's talking about the 1/2 inch spacing.
Right. So a 1/2 inch, it does say it's 1/2 inch. It's the diameter is 1/2 inch larger than the outside, the inside diameter of the sleeve is a 1/2 inch larger than the outside diameter of the pipe. So basically it's a 1/4 inch of annular space, but it says it's 1 inch insulation. So that should be 1 inch on top and 1 inch on bottom of the pipe, 1
Right.
inch all the way around, which is
Right.
2 inches.
1 inch insulation, right?
Right. 1 inch insulation. So you got,
Yeah. So so you have right here.
you got 1 inch of insulation. You
You
have
got
a
your
3/4
3/4
pipe,
inch.
and you have 1 inch of insulation on the bottom.
So you're looking at 1 inch here, 1 inch here,
Right.
right?
Correct.
So from here to here, that's
2
2 3/4.
Plus you
Right.
have a 1/2 inch of space around that for the sleeve.
So if you want, so you don't have 1/2 inch of space in the sleeve.
It's a 1/4
Yeah,
inch all the way around because it's a 1/2 inch
Yeah.
total.
correct.
Correct.
Right.
You have pretty much an eighth space all the way around before
Mhm.
you hit up the inside diameter of a 3 inch sleeve. So if you want a 1/2 inch space, you can put a 4 inch.
Right. Because it
Right.
says minimum.
Yeah,
So we'd have to go 4 inch.
correct. So there you go. See what math can get you at? It's awesome. That's paying attention, guys.
Yep.
That is paying attention right there. Boom. Let's change that up. 4 inch. Right? Let's do another one. Let's check this out. So we got our radiant heating return, right?
Stefan, you got another question, or you just need to lower your hand? Robert, did you have a question or no? Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, but in the spec book, it says it's got to have a 1/2 inch spacing of the pipe. It doesn't. It never mentioned that it mentions anything about 1/2 inch spacing of the insulation.
The 1/2 inch of the pipe or the outermost
Because on the
diameter?
specs it says it needs to be 1/2 inch larger on each side of the pipe. Correct?
Let's go
Correct.
back to the spec
Yeah.
book.
Yeah. So it still should be 3 inches because even though it asks for 1/2 inch, it only asks for 1/2 inch spacing with the pipe, not counting the insulation.
No,
So
it's
now,
counting-
you know
it's
what I'm
counting
saying?
Insulation, because the insulation is going over the pipe. So now it's, instead of having just a 3/4 inch piece of copper going through there, you got 1 inch of insulation around that piping. So now that makes the piping itself larger.
Right here, M211.
M2.
Right. Sleeves and flashing. Right. So go and highlight. Provided all pipes passing through footings, floors, slabs, and masonry walls with steel pipe sleeves, the inside diameter of which shall be at least 1/2 inch greater than the outside diameter of the pipe passing through. So let me see, let's read on. That's what it says. Sleeves in exterior walls or in slabs on earth shall have the space between the pipe and the sleeve called watertight. Now, Mm,
Oh, you're right. No, that's right. Steven's right. It says right there, and covering passing through it. So yeah, so it should be 4-inch.
right.
It's on, like you said, page 29 on M114.
29 and 114.
It's right, like I don't know, fifth sentence, fifth line down.
Yeah.
Of number A.
Yeah, that's the one we looked at right before, right? So
This is right there, 1/2 inch greater than the outside diameter of the pipe and covering passing through.
it. Right. So we would have to go move up to 4 inches, 4-inch pipe.
Okay.
It's good catch. It's all good. It's all in the specs.
Good job, Steven.
Here you go. We're working it. So here on the next one, it's telling us that it wants to go with, let's see here. It wants to go with the 1-inch, with the 1-inch secondary water supply. All right. So it's telling, add this information to your city schedule with a note about fastening the radiant piping to the reinforcing mesh. So it's telling you to add the note, fastening the radiant piping to reinforcing mesh. All right, so on that one, we're gonna have a note, special note. So we're gonna be doing number 2, and it's gonna be a 1-inch secondary water supply line, right? So is that gonna be insulated, guys? So water supply, I'm guessing it is, but we're gonna read on and figure that out a little bit. Pretty much, we're gonna go through the floor, right? And your elevation's gonna be, come on. Yeah, 326, right? Because we're working on the 2nd floor. Elevation, 326 feet. We don't know this yet, right? And then we're gonna go ahead. What's going on here? This stupid pin. All right. So the special note that's telling us to write here is fasten the radiant pipe. I don't have a lot of space here. So wait, is that for the, I think that's for what we just did. Sorry, fellas. Right? Because it's talking about the radiant pipe.
It's talking about the radiant height, the radiant heating.
Yeah, the radiant heating pipe. All right, cool. So, yeah, so that's, so the special note for your radiant heating return is going to be fasten. I don't know what happened to my stupid little thing. I think I need more, I don't have any more. Forcing mesh. That's what this time, the special note. Okay, so next one. M3 shows a 1-inch secondary water supply line going down the east end of the pipe chase behind the toilet room. The toilet room 219. Drawing M2 shows a 1-inch secondary water supply line going up the same area. This check verifies that the fact that the 1-inch secondary water supply line does pass through the stick and will require a sleeve. The specifications for a 1-inch line with 1-inch thick installation will require a 4-inch diameter sleeve. All right, so it says telling us right here, it's gonna be a 4-inch diameter sleeve. 4-inch diameter sleeve. All right. Locate the sleeve for 1-inch secondary water supply line in the pipe chase of toilet room 219. See figure 225 and drawing 8.3. So figure 225. On drawing 8.3. So this pretty much is pretty much a blown up drawing 8.3. And it's telling us to go to what room? 219. So here's 224, 235, 227, and there's 219. You guys see that? So we found 219. All right. So drawing A3 shows a chain of dimensions from columns number 5 and 9, west to the toilet room in chase 219. Add the 5-inch clearance from the inside wall to the chase, the center line of the sleeve. So they're giving us all the dimensions that we have to add up to get to the center line west of columns 5 and 9 to 1-inch source. So let's see if we can find those. So here's the toilet room, right? Then we have our columns west of 5 and 9, or what they're saying 1, right? All the way to 1, all the way to 9, which is down here. That you can't see it on here, but if you turn to your drawing A3, we can find it. All right, so we have to find the center of our sleeve of secondary water supply. So it's telling us the first measurement is your 6.5 inch of columns 5 to 9 inside the wall. So it's saying to get to the inside of the wall, it's 6.5 inches from here, I believe.
Correct.
Right?
That's the same 6.5 inches. Remember, guys, on understanding the first sleeve that we got.
Okay, and then you got 9'4" all the way across from wall to wall. So 6.5 plus 9'4" gets you center line of this beam right here, right? All the way to the wall, face of the wall of 218, room 218. Okay, here it says room 218. So from there, you add your 4 inches, right? And then it's telling you, dude.
Hey, David.
It says, yeah.
Got a question from Darren.
Go for Darren.
Yeah, my question, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, but I'm trying to see, you see on page 56 where it says 5-inch clearance. How the heck did they get that? I know it has something to do with that 7 and that 2-inch, but I don't know, like, how did they actually get that 5-inch clearance for the last calculation on this line that we're doing?
Right here.
5-inch clearance.
You see this section 3.3, A7, section 3.3. I believe he's looking at the 5-inch clearance here, but hold on. Let's see where they got it from. Let's see where they got it from. So they're adding 2 inches because I guess it's inside the wall. So it's a 4-inch wall. So they're adding their 2 inches, right? Adding 2 inches and then your 5-inch clearance. I believe that's it, but if that's not it, then we're gonna have to go to the detail location. Oh, here it is. Okay, so in drawing P3, toilet room 219. So if we go to the P3, toilet room 219, it tells us here, it gives you the 2-inch, the room 218 and 219, right? We went 9 foot something. We went 9'4" plus your 6.5 to get to the center of the column, to the face of this wall, right?
Yeah.
Now, right here, 1 inch, that's your 5-inch clearance right there. But you have to get to the center of the wall. The wall's 4 inches. So from there to here is 2 inches, right? And from there to here is 5 inches.
You go 5 inches over from that partition. Okay.
Yeah, so it's 9'4" plus 6.5 inches to the center of column, right? So
Yeah.
it's from your I-beam.
So I get it.
I-beam.
I
And
get
then-
it now. Where that wall is at, from where that wall is at to where that circle with that number 4 is at, they just want 5-inch clearance. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then this will tell you from there to there, it's 5-inch clearance.
Okay, I got it now. All right. Thank you.
All right, so now since we found out center going west of 9 and 5, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna write it in, right? We're gonna go columns 5 and 9, right? Columns 5 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
West to center line of 1 inch secondary water supply is 10'5.5 inches. Boom. So we have to find what? North, right? Or south, depending which way we go, but I think we're going to be going north because we got these measurements. So we got to get to the center here, right? And this is telling us already we want to get center line of this column, right? And you can already see 7 inches right there because you're already 7 inches, right? Just from center line to there. So if you see here,
Yeah, but it looks like it's it's pulling from column line.
5 and we're gonna go from 5 and 6.
Oh, 5 and 6.
Yeah, 5 and 6. We're gonna go north.
Okay.
This is the room. This is the toilet room, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we already know the center line of the column right there. That's the center line of the column. See that center line? That's the center line of the column. So if we go to the specs over here, I believe center line of column right here. See that? Center line of column 5 and 6. So if that's the center line of column, we got to find out what is the measurement from here to there. And it actually tells you right there. 5.5 inches north of center line of columns 5 and 6 is 5.5 inches. Boom. So we'll write right here, column number 5 and 6 north to center line of 1 inch secondary water supply is 5.5 inches. We got that from P3, drawing P3. Good deal. I'm gonna use carbon steel on this one. No. I don't care what the general contractor says. No.
What I want to do.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Get all the,
No, make it
all the
6 inches
glory.
long. If they want to cut it, go ahead. Cut it after it's all slabbed in. You can cut 4 inches if the slab's 6 inches, 5 inches. No, all right. So there you go. That would be the 1 inch secondary water supply line. So that's that for that one, right?
Yeah, you got the north and south, and you already got the east and west, right?
So,
Yep.
yeah. That button. Any questions on what's going on here? All right. Do you guys want to find the next one? Want us to give you time on finding the next one? And see how you guys do. So if you guys read, it says that we have 38 sleeves to do. And that was number 2. So you have 36 more to go. And that will be due next week, Tuesday night. Because Wednesday would be the last. We're going to go over this Wednesday. We're going to have some sleeves, especially some difficult ones to go over with you guys. Right, so we found the radiant heating return. We found the,
Wouldn't that give them longer to turn it in?
if you guys need longer time, just let us know. And yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, because it's a lot of info.
Well,
It's a lot
because
of,
isn't it 7 days after we've completed
right.
Right.
Yeah, and Wednesday is the last day for this sleeve schedule.
Of next week? Or this week?
No, this Wednesday. This
Okay.
Wednesday, because next week we're going to be going over the reviewing the midterm.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, we'll be moving into the next unit.
Mhm.
As long
Yeah.
as- Scott Johnson would like to know where these 2 sleeves are located on the drawing. From the chat.
The ones, the secondary water return.
I'm guessing the same ones that we just went over.
We just went over. The first one was on A3, right? And the second one was a P3. But also A3 as well to find the measurements. To find the measurements, we went on A3. Here, pulled out the.
Hey, Scott, raise your hand if that doesn't answer your question. If you need more clarification. That helped him out.
Let me see. Do a screen share. So here, I came to my second floor plan. See if I could pull this back a little bit. Second floor plan, A3, right? And if you open it all up, I kind of kept it folded in half. So look closely here. You always look for the column lines that you're working with, right? Let's see here. All right, so we are working with columns 1, 2, 5, 6, and then all the way down here, you got 9, 10. All right, but we're looking for room 219.
Hey, David.
Right, this is room 218. Yeah.
We got a quick question from Robert here.
Okay.
Hey, Dave, before you go on to something else, when you were doing the measurements of that the rate the water, the RHR, right?
Yeah.
You got 8 feet 10.5. Is that what you got on your for the sleeve from column 5 and 6 to the center?
You're talking about north or west?
North from
North?
yes.
I got
It'll be 15.3.5.
15.3.5.
Columns 1 and 2 north.
Right.
16.2. Oh, okay.
15.3.5.
All right. Yeah, no, you're right. I did it the other way. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. And it's all here on page 56, and that'll be right there. 15.3.5. Okay.
So if you went south, you would get a different measurement though.
Yeah. So here we have our, is on drawing A3, it gives us dimensions, right? Because the architectural drawing is where we find our dimensions. Right? And right now we have our 7 inches here, your 9'4", the 4 inches, but you went to the center, right? And then then you got your clearance. And then here you measure down, and here shows you. Then on P3, it gives you the center line of columns 5 and 6, right? And if you follow that over, right, it gives you the measurement from center line to center, 5.5 north. Okay, and the west, you got the center I-beam is 6.5, plus your 9'4" for the room, plus your 2 inches it gets inside of the wall, and then your inside of the wall to the center is 5 inches, and that's on P3, right? So if you go to P3, because that's just the book gives you a blown up version, but if you want to go find it on P3, right, you can. Right, back it up a little bit. So on P3, you got your room right there. You got your, see if I can go ahead and look at that real quick. Oh, don't do that to me. Here we go. Columns 5 and 6. You guys see it right there? Your 1 inch. To the room. You go. think that one's going to be in mechanical. Water supply should be right here.
Or is he looking for actually where it goes up and where it goes down for the radiant
Because
heat?
no, this is for the secondary water supply, the 1 inch secondary water supply. And it should be right here. Should be actually right here. 5 inches, 5.5 inches from center line to here. It should be right there, but
No, it's going to be.
Is that it right there? Is it pointing at that right there?
No, it's going to be in the mechanical, David.
It's going to be a mechanical. Yeah, mechanical. That's
water.
one.
The secondary water is in mechanical, and
1, 2, 4, 6. This is second floor mechanical M3 drawing, and this is secondary water supply, right?
There's 3/4.
That's your secondary water supply, right? And this would be your columns 5 and 6. Hold on, this thing's. That's your columns 5 and 6 right there. All right, and it shows your 1 inch down. Okay. And that'll be it right there. Is your water supply runs up. Okay. You see that? What's it doing, guys? Is that going from, is that popping off the top or the bottom? If you guys remember plan view drawings.
You put in the chat, you can raise your hand. What symbol usually means up? If it's got
What's
a
it
dot,
doing, guys?
if it's got a dot, what does it mean?
Well, remember if.
Here we go, Darren.
You said if it got a dot, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're asking what's this doing right here? What's it doing?
Looking up towards you if it's a dot, but if it's not a dot, that means it's looking away or looking down from you.
Right. So here, this T, we got a branch over, right?
It looks like looking down and over.
That's right. It's going down and over. And what gives it away is you see the main line, you see it run all the way through.
Yep.
You see it running all the way through. If you couldn't see the top of that main, then you can't. Then it's not. It's on top. But since you can see the top of that main, it's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Way to go,
There it
Darren.
goes. So that's where it shows where it is, right there.
Right.
A mechanical drawing. So on the mechanicals, you're going to find all your return, secondary water supply, and secondary water return. So on your, so we did that already, right?
Yeah.
SD schedule, your columns 1, 5, and 9, west to center line of 1 inch secondary water supply is 10 inch, 5.5, and columns 5 and 6, north to center line of 1 inch secondary water supply is 5.5 inches. So actually this one, the measurements we find in A3, correct, guys?
Oh, shit.
This M3 just shows us where the location is, but it does not give us any measurements, right? P3, I don't know why the book is telling us P3. That's retarded. Why would the book be telling us P3?
Yeah, on a yeah.
All right.
That's just the way they had it blown up in the book.
Yeah, because right here it's telling us in P3, the toilet room pipe chase layout. So they're showing us the layout, but the actual measurements, you can see it on A3. But that's what we use to get the measurements, right? That's what we use to get the measurements. But the penetration, it only shows it on M3. So we can actually use, because this is plural, right? Drawings used, not one drawing. You can go ahead and go A3 and M3. You can say you use 2 drawings. This is where it shows the penetration, and this is where you got your measurements. All right, because it's not subject to one, it's subject to more than one. Drawings used.
Yeah, I just think they use this for teaching purposes. They use that because it has a good layout on the P3s.
Right. I was looking for this particular note on P3, but I didn't see it there, which I thought it was there. For some reason, it didn't show us there, because this is P3, right? And I don't see a note on this drawing. Nope, I don't see the note on that. So I don't know why the book refers this to this 227, figure 227 as P3, but this figure has to be somewhere in the drawings.
Yeah, that's one. I guess I would say like that figure 2-7 is more of a detail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't really have that many details in these prints that they standardly would have. But yeah, that's what I would say that is.
All right. So we got that.
And you could show them where the radiant heat return is on the mechanical M3 too. The 3/4 going up.
Yeah.
The first sleeve we did.
It's actually on. Is it on M3?
Yeah. It says 3/4 up.
Right. Radiant return. Up.
Right there.
Right
yeah.
there.
10 off right there.
There's 2. There's one going up,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one going down.
Right.
All right. There's actually 2 of them. Any questions on that? So we're going to have to write up a sleeve schedule for this one going up, unless that's for 3rd floor. I believe not. No, that's for this one. All right, where do we leave off? Page 57.
Page 56.
56. All right. Yeah. So on this page is showing us your 23'9" between the columns. So it's just telling you to check out the architectural drawing. All right. And it's between 1 and 2 and 5 and 6, and that'll be 23'9". And we kind of already know that from the architectural drawings, because it actually tells us. Right here it says the largest sleeve required in chase is 4-inch. You will locate the center of the sleeves in chase 5.5 inches north of 5 and 6. All right, and we figured that one out already, and that was for the 1-inch supply line, secondary water supply line. All right, so a comparison of M3, M4, and P3 indicate a strong possibility of conflict between the radiant piping and the slab. The template sleeves for the dental unit room 227, the vacuum floor outlet in room 227, 228, and the vent and soil sleeves in the TR 225. The best way to prevent this conflict is to make a rough sketch of the radiant heat piping and related sleeves as shown on drawing M3, and overlay it with the sleeves equipment on drawing P3. All right, so that's saying that you really want to, they want to make you make an overlaying drawing of that. And here we go. Let's go next one. Take the structural background drawing and fasten it to the drawing board from the information on your sleeve schedule and
Hey,
at the
David?
quarter. Yeah, go for it.
Question from Diana.
Go for it, Diana.
I have a question about the drawing. So, okay, so like the first one, for example, right? We figured out the dimensions. And then if I want to put it on the drawing on the drawing part, is it cool if I scale it out 3/8, right? Like obviously it's gonna go north 15, 3.5, and then west 16.2. And then I just draw a little circle, right? And then I could just put my like a line going west and a line going north and just put those numbers, right? I don't have to do what like in page drawing 2, right?
I would put a little flag with it so you know what that one is, like 3/4 radiant heat.
Right, but you guys would be cool with that, right? Like I just put a little thing next to it that would say 3/4 radiant heat, and then just the two lines that say the north and the west.
Well, that'll be your crosshairs, right?
Yeah.
So if you're saying if you would make a drawing and you have this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about, you don't have to actually draw the crosshairs itself. You know, remember we figured out that if you put in the number in here, it'd be a number 4, right? And that'll be the 4-inch sleeve.
Yes.
It would be a 4. So you would have to put a number, and that would equal the diameter of the sleeve.
Right. And if Diana, if you look at the back of your textbook where it's got that sleeve drawing example,
mm-hmm.
that'd be a good example. Like you could scale out to where your circle would be, and then just a little flag like how it's got it, 1.5 water waist up.
Okay.
And just also remember, write your dimensions in between your dimension lines.
Mm-hmm.
And your dimension line should have arrows. You don't want to have any floating dimensions.
Mm-hmm. That was my question, because in the drawing too, obviously we're gonna do ours similar to that one. It'll tell me like a bunch of little. Obviously, you add it up, it comes up to the same thing, right? Like going, yeah. So do you want me to add in all those little measurements?
No, you can just put one measurement is fine.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna get to.
Yeah.
It'll be too many dimensions if you write in each dimension that it gives us the example in the book. I think it'll be too much. If you just put one dimension coming from center of column line to center of your sleeve, that would be great.
Okay.
You're saying like if we don't want to do this, right? You don't want to go, this is 4'8" plus that. Yeah, no, you would just go from center line all the way over, 15 something, and over here it's 16 something, whatever it is, whatever, that's what you would put it at, just one line. You don't have to get all crazy with it like that.
Okay.
Because you have it on your sleeve schedule.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right. And if anybody asks, you can tell them, oh, you can refer to all the drawings that I looked at. Yeah.
But that was a good question.
All right.
Robert, you got a question?
Yeah. So are we drawing in the radiant heat lines, or are we just going to draw in the sleeves where they need to go? Because
I think we're just drawing the sleeves in where they go. We don't need to trace the line out like they got. Would you agree, Eric?
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Yeah, this is just to this is just to for you guys to look through the book, look through the find the coordinates and add learn how to add everything up so you can get to the center line, and then make your own little sleeve drawings, sleeve schedule, and that's it. You don't have to draw out the pipelines or nothing like that because that's irrelevant. What's relevant it's where the location of each sleeve is at, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know in the beginning it said that we'd have to draw in the radiant lines, and you guys actually said that in the other classes. That's why I was double checking with that.
Not a problem. Yeah, I mean, the book says draw the joists, and draw the, the I-beams. We're not gonna do all that. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's not to take anything away from the book. It's a good visual. You know what I mean? Because we're all kinetic visual learners. But for the sake of time and getting the gist of it, it's just understanding how to be able to pull a dimension. North and south and east and west. And and get all the details. Draw your dimension lines, drawing in your flags, each sleeve, with the size and everything.
Yeah, that just makes the drawing a lot easier right now. All right,
no problem.
And the drawing's going to help you guys identify if there's any clashes or any overlaps.
Yeah. Right. So this is how they started off drawing theirs on figure 228, right? And then it's asking you here, draw the radiant heat piping shown on drawing M3. But like we said, we just want to know where the penetrations are. All right.
We got a couple questions here. First, Darren,
right.
And then we'll go to Jacob after that.
All right. My question is, I'm trying to do this radiant heat is that the next? That's going to be number 3 for our number 3 sleeve, right? The radiant heat.
I'm sorry, you broke up. We couldn't hear you there.
Is this radiant heat line going to be the number 3 sleeve?
No, what they're asking you, are you reading on page 59?
Yeah, I'm lost with this.
Okay, yeah. So what they're explaining is if you dial it back to 57 in red print, it's just having you scale out the radiant heating actual piping, and we were just talking about that. It's no need to draw out the radiant heating because it's going to just take too much time. What we want to do is focus on just the sleeves.
So basically, sleeve number 3 will be located starting in room 220, right?
Exactly. Off of column line 6.
Yeah, because
that'll be the next sleeve.
I'm looking through drawing M3 and M4 and all that, and I'm like, man, I don't know what the hell they talking about.
Yeah, I was reading through that, and just as you asked the question, like, no, this is not right. We're not doing this.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah. Said that he had 38 sleeves. Is that right? Yeah. Are they all like in the book, or do we have to find Or is there only a couple in the book, and then we got to find the rest?
I don't think it gives you all of them as I read through the book. You do have to find some on your own, but they do give you a lot more dimensions as you look to figure 2-31.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I didn't know if.
Yeah, so they give you more dimensions. So you can kind of treat like these figures as detailed drawings that they don't clarify all of these dimensions in the drawing that they don't have, and it's a little easier to see.
Oh, okay.
So just keep following through the book and get as let the book be a guide to yourself, and go through and find all the ones, and then go through after that, and then go through and look at all the other ones that you that the book didn't give you.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going through the book, but I was trying to go from like room to room so I don't miss one.
Right.
But like on the book, it wants you to go from one side of the, to the other side on it. What the?
Yeah, it's
Well, they're just showing you all
different
the
examples jumping around.
correct. Right.
Oh,
so the
okay.
appearances, the how to get to the center of the column, right? How to add from one room all the way across to the other room. But this figure 217, they show you all the penetrations already.
Oh, okay.
But they're waist and vent, right? For waist and vent for the P3 drawings. Right. We still have to do the M3 drawings, P3 drawings. Okay.
But it tells you where the M drawings are if you look on figure 2-18, 2-19.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Are we doing the waist and then we're doing the waters like next to it, like, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you can do the waste, the vent, the domestic water, the gases, the air.
Right. You can try to go ahead and go to this page and knock out all the waste and go, okay, I did this one. Waste.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
You know what I mean?
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was like if the book was going through like all of them or if it was just a couple of them, and then because I did the ones in the cabinets and what is that? The exam room 220 or whatever the
220 right here. You talking about these ones? These two right here?
Yeah, I did those ones. Like, whatever's going in the book, but I was trying to see if I could do the waters and everything, but I can't find it. I didn't know if it was in the book or
maybe this water closet right here.
Oh no! What I was saying is like the sinks. Like it has a waste going up.
Oh, right here, the sink right here. These two.
Yeah. So are we doing the water for that too, or is it just whatever's on 217 is what we're doing? Because I think whatever's on 217, I think there's 38 red dots, or I mean not 38, 36.
Right, but what it shows that there was a problem on one, and that it cannot have, it cannot be connected together. So you have to create a different sleeve for it.
Yeah, on page 53 it tells you that. Jacob.
What page?
Jacob, it tells you on page 53 on the bottom left-hand column, second paragraph at the bottom. It tells you a count of sleeves required for sleeving drawing 2 should be 36 plus 2 for radiant heat return lines that turn up in the closet of lab 223. So you have to add 2 additional sleeves to that 36, so it would be 38.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got that one. Oh no, I was just wondering because where David was pointing at with those 2 sinks. Like it shows the waste or the vent or the waste. Now are we doing the water? The waters is overhead, right? We're not like because I know these guys are talking about something with the water's coming up. I couldn't. It cut out.
Like right here, it says up 1/2 inch.
That is that the reading? Is that part of the, or is that going up to the 3rd floor?
It says what it is above the ceiling. And it should be going up to the 3rd floor because it's above the ceiling, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's above, that's in the ceiling. That piping is in the ceiling and it's going up to the 3rd floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And here it shows 3/4 down, right? And right here it shows 1/2 inch up.
Yeah, yes, yeah. See that right there? That's what I was talking about. I mean, it's not marked red, but I mean that's a lot more sleeves than.
No, this one's showing your waist and right?
Yeah, it looks like, well, it shows waste vent and it shows the gases in the dental room.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we're doing all the sleeves that are marked red on 217. Is that the only ones we're doing?
Well, that's just showing you some of them.
Because right there where Dale says they're like 1/2 inch up and 3/4 down. I mean,
We should be doing the water as well.
Yeah, it doesn't have all the systems in it.
No.
Yeah, the figure 217 doesn't have all the systems, like the radiant heat water.
okay.
So, to answer your question, it doesn't have all of it.
Okay.
It's got a good majority.
It's got majority of them though. Yeah, because you just look at them. There's 30 some odd red dots.
Right. And we have to do, this is the other radiant heat return that we have to find right there. Right? We found this one.
Yeah,
the one that says down.
Yeah, I found that
right?
one.
But we had to find this one as well. All right. So in the architect drawing, is it architect drawing here? M3. There we go. In the architectural drawing, it doesn't show, right here is where right here is where the other radiant heating return is at, right?
Yep.
So if you go to mechanical drawing, right, so we had to find out what the distance is between the centers here, so we can go up to here. We had to find out this dimension.
And the other question was, some of the stuff, it was hard for me to find. I mean, it took me like a half hour. I had to like double check some stuff. But if I can't find it, is it okay just to scale it off the plans and just kind of just say, from columns 1 to 5, west, whatever?
That'll be, I mean, if it doesn't have and it doesn't indicate, and that'll be last resort.
Yeah, scaling is always the last resort. So if you can't find it in the big prints and you can't find it in the textbook, then you would have to scale it.
Okay. Yeah, because it was taking a long time just to do one. Shit.
No, it takes a little while. After you kind of got to get a groove. Once you get your first 3 to 5 cans, and you kind of see, okay, here's the trend. This is the numbers that I'm using. This is how I'm going to do it. And then once you start understanding what you're looking at and you get a little familiar with the prints, then it starts to make a little more sense. It gets easier. But you have to keep looking at the prints. You gotta highlight. You want to do the next one, David? The
Yeah,
sink
so
220?
so right here, it starts off right here. Locate the center line for the sink in room 220. All right, so here, here in the figure 229, right? It's going to be 3'10" east of finish wall at center line of column 6. To find the relationship between the column 6 and 10 and finish wall, check the dimension of center line of column 5 to the east face of the rough wall of the room 220 must be done as shown in figure 225. So 229 and 225 it's showing us here room 220, right? 46 inches. I'm saying is at 46 inches. Two, 5. And then it says go to figure 225. All right. And we're looking for room 220, which is here. And we are going to go to the, looking for the sink, correct? Which is, I believe, in P3, it shows it right here. These
It
two.
goes to the 46 inches. So it just goes from 46 inches to 3'10". The same thing, you know, you're just calling out feet and inches instead of these inches off of column
Right.
line 6.
Which is
Find
ridiculous.
the relationship between column lines 6 and 10 and the finished wall. And check the dimension on the center of column 5, the east face of the rough wall in room 220. 36. I'm basically just verifying.
Right.
Column 6, 6 and 10. 6 and 10. Oh, here's 10.
Let's go to the actual drawing here. Right, we're gonna go to the actual drawing. And here's our penetrations, right? But we have no dimensions, so I would go to the architectural drawing to get dimensions, correct? All your dimensions will be in architectural drawings.
Okay.
So this will be room 220, right?
Right.
And here would be your there's 220, and here's your sink, and then that little chase is where all the penetrations are at. There's 2 sinks, right? So here's your 2 sinks, okay? And we have here 9'10½". Okay, that's all the way across. That's that room, 9'10½", right? So here, when you go to the utility specs, that's what it's showing you in your book on page room 220. Your casework details. All right. Yes, room 220 casework details. 46 inches.
Well, does it give us a dimension of column 6?
This is column 6 here.
Correct.
All right. So center line of column 6. I'm looking for a dimension here. I'm only getting dimensions going from between column 5 and 9, going west. Because I'm getting, so it's 9'4", right? 3/8.
Right.
Then you got your wall, and then you got your 3'6" to the edge, right? And then you got your 5'2" to there, and then you got your, I believe it's a 2-foot closet. Closet A, closet B. But it still doesn't give you the penetration here. It doesn't show it on A3, your penetration, but you can get from there to here. On your closet types, B and A, right?
Oh, I see it, yeah.
Well, let's see what the book's telling us to do. So it's telling us that figure 229, it shows a sink center line for room 220 to be 3'10" east of the finished wall at column 6. So it's saying that it's east of column wall 6 to the penetration is 3'10". That's what it's saying. And that shows, that's in figure 229. And that's what it's giving us here. Okay, because that'll be our penetration.
Yeah, but it doesn't say if it's coming off a finished wall, rough wall, or what. If it's
Well, it says center line of column 6 and 10 and the finished wall.
Oh, finished wall, okay.
Yeah, check out the dimensions from the center line of column 5 to east face of the rough wall of room 220 must be done, as shown in figure 225. The dimensions from center line column number 5 to the inside rough wall equals 23'9". We know that. That's the whole span. This is also the center line to center line dimensions from column 5 and 6. As a result, the inside face of the rough wall is the column center line. The casework will be placed against the finished wall and not the rough wall. So the distance from column number 6 to the finished wall of room 220 must be determined. A check of the room finish schedule on drawing A3 indicates that the plasters to be added to the rough wall in room 220. Drawing A11, typical plaster partitions and typical plaster partition buck details shows 3/4 inch of plaster be added to the rough wall. So it's telling you you have to go to different architect drawings to find out to how to get from a rough wall to a finished wall. Okay. And if you go look into the details, it shows that 3/4 inch of plaster will be added to the rough wall.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
On because the book is saying that that's drawing A10, that where it's getting the 8'4" dimension for room 220. But if you go to A10, the room 220 is a 5-foot room section. It's actually got for room 220. It says 25-room 220, and the one that it's showing on there is actually the one that shows for.
Are you saying A11 or A10?
A10. If you look at drawing A10, it shows you the same pictures as what you're looking in the book, because the book says it's from A10 case drawing, casework details.
Right.
At the bottom, right above where it says figure. So if
Yeah.
you go to if you turn to your drawing, your A10, it shows you a different picture for 220, for room 220.
All right, let's go look at A10. This is A10, right? And we're looking for room 220, which is right here.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So it's not.
Doesn't
So
give you the dimension of the
it doesn't
center.
give you a dimension.
There's no dimension of center of sink. It just gives you 5 feet.
Right.
First
5 feet.
cabinet's 2 foot
Yeah, because
wide.
that's cabinet size.
Yeah.
In which that cabinet's 2'6", the sink is centered in the middle of that last cabinet of 2'6".
2'6".
So it had to be half of 2'6", be 1'3" plus the 2'6", which would make it at 3'9".
3'9".
Well, yeah, because over here on figure 2-9, it's got it at 8'4".
Yeah, that's what I said. You got two different drawings.
Yeah.
The A10 drawing that it's saying it's coming from is actually showing, I believe that's room 223 and not 220 or something like that.
Hold on. These are the casework drawings here. Room. Room 04, room 204.
Okay.
It should be the cabinet detail from 204 here. And the casework here, but it's not giving me a 220 here. So I guess.
Did you do that drawing
Gonna
you were
give me-
supposed to do from your computer?
Casework elevations, room 220.
Does it say what sink, what kind of sink it is?
It probably does.
It just says SK.
It says right here, it actually gives you dimensions of the sink, right? Up on S1, right? Or what? It's S1 up in the box, up in the top. All sinks to be stainless steel, ledge black, and loose. Noted. Bowl size W, 16 inches. F to B, 11.5 inches, and D, 7.5 inches.
I see what you mean. If this casework here, room 220 on drawing 810 details show a 8'4", correct?
Well, that's what I'm saying. On
So-
810, it actually shows 5 foot.
Yeah, 5 foot, but this is showing the knee space and here,
Okay.
right? And here,
It stops at the cupboard.
yeah, it stops at the cupboards and it stops at 5 foot. It's the same one, but this one is more,
Ended.
yeah, more definitive. Because you still got your 2'6" and your 2'2", right?
Right.
Over here, you still got your 2'6".
No, it's 2'6" and 2'6" in the on the other one.
Oh, you're right. 2'6" and 2'6". What's that?
It's 5 feet.
2'6" and 2'6", and here is showing us a 2'6" and a 2'2".
RFI.
Yeah, I mean, I'd feel better if it said center line on the counter, because it just appears like it is. That is definitely a question to be asked.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, then it says your dimensions of your sink is up in the box in the top right corner of your drawing, or 810. It gives you your sink dimensions.
Yeah. We got another question from Diana.
Hey, so I don't I know we're backtracking, but how do I find the length to fill in my sleep schedule again? Sorry.
Look at S3 and note. I think was it note 3? Let me check that. S3 and top of all bar joist -2.5 inches. Number 3 in the center there, bottom. You see that?
Let me get a better shot of this. So here, on the second floor framing plan, note 3, top of all bar joists at -2.5 inches. So
That will be the length of your sleeve.
Okay.
So floor construction over bar joist is 2.5 inches of concrete.
Okay.
Darren, you got a question?
So basically, this whole deck right here on the second floor is just gonna be 2.5 inches thick, or are we adding that 2.5 inches to something?
So what we found right now, it's stating that it's 2.5 inches. I haven't found anything that
This top of all ball joists is at 2.5 inches. So
yeah.
floor construction over bar joists is 2.5 inches of concrete. That's it. That's so basically it's just 2.5 inches on this deck, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's basically the depth of our sleeve for the boom.
The length of the sleeve, yeah.
The length of the sleeve.
All right. Okay. So what about these other sleeves that we wrote down 6 inches for? So those.
You erase it and you put 2.5 inches.
Yeah. That was based off the first floor.
Okay.
So we were determining that the plaster was going to be 3/4 inch thick, added to the rough wall, and that'll create the finished wall, which is 3/4. So whatever your measurements is to the rough wall, you have to add 3/4 of an inch for the plaster wall. So so this will move the west side of the caseware cabinet 3/4 inches east of column line number 6 for a total distance of 3 foot 10 3/4 east of column number 6. The north and south dimensions for these sleeves must now be determined. So we got our east and west, which is 10 3/4. All right. Now the north and south dimensions for these sleeves must now be determined. See figure 224 and 225. So 224 gives us the, here the dimension 6.5 inches to the plus your 3/4 inches of, or 6.5 inches to finish wall, I believe. And 225 is showing us your sink. Oh, this is the architectural drawing. You're going to try to get your north. All right. The chain of dimensions from center line of columns 1 and 2 to center line to center of a common partition. Why is this so zoomed in? So the center of the common partition between rooms 270 and 220 are as follows. You got your 6.5 inch column center line to inside wall, plus your 227, plus your wall, plus your passage 226, plus another wall, plus the room 223 to this pipe space, right? So center line of column 1 and 2 to the inside of room 220. Column 1 and 2 to column 5 is shown on the drawing A3 to be 23 foot 9. So 2311 is center line columns 1 and 2 to the inside wall room 220, 23.9. So you subtract those two, it's 2 inches to center line column 5 and 6 south to the inside wall of room 220. All right. Columns center line 5 and 6 north room 220 inside wall, 9 feet from room 220, half inch space between the room 217 and 220, and you got your center line pipe space north of columns 5 and 6. So you got to do a lot of referencing and you have to do 217s and 220. You have to look at both in order to get it from the architectural drawings. So if you want to get to here, right, you had to look at 217 and 220. I don't know why you would have to look at 217 here, but pretty much you're trying to get to this location. And it's telling you to go 6.5 inches from the center line of the column wall, plus your 10 foot 6 to 227.
Yeah, it's going. Let's start all the way at column line 1 though. Why is it telling me
Yeah.
over there?
Yeah,
I guess since they don't have Well, let's look at a complete A3 drawing.
Yeah, they don't have a dimension coming off a 9
Yeah,
or a 10.
don't.
Yeah, and the earlier drawing that we made didn't have those as well. The box drawing.
So these are 9, 10, right?
Yeah, look how far
And,
it is
and
away.
you're trying to get to here.
Yeah, see, that's why.
So I mean, you can add all this up, 3'6", and then your 2 inches, your 2'0", your 2 inches, your 4 foot, your 2 inches, your 5'10", your 2 inches, 3'0", and then you got your 2 inches, your closet, your 2 foot. You got your 2 inches in there, and then you got your 6 foot, and then you can get inside here. So you can add all this up, and you can go from between column 9 and 10 all the way up to there. So you can come up this way, right? But they're coming down from here, 227, right? But you have your 23.9 there, right? So you can you can cut that all the way out, right? And then you got 9 foot this one, and that's it. You don't have to be adding all this up here. You can just go 23.9, right? Center to center, right? And then you can go, let's see, does it show the dimensions of this? I bet it's 6.5. And this is a 4. This is a 4 inch, but it didn't tell you. Then you can add.
Yeah,
So here,
we can give you center of the column 5.
so I guess you can go 2 ways about it, right? Here is telling you to add room 227, your 4 inch wall, your 3'6" passageway, right? Your 227, your 4 inch wall, your 3'6" passageway, right?
Yep.
And then you got your 2 inch wall. It says right here, your 2 inch wall. And then you got 8'6.5".
Yeah, room 223. You gotta
Right.
go to your, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, room 220.
That right there, right where your pencil was, 223.
Yeah, you're
That's what it is,
8'6".
8'6.5" again. They just keep using the same dimension.
All right, so you're 8'6.5", right? And then you got your 2 inch wall, or your 4 inch wall, right? And that is 23'11".
Hey, David.
Yeah, and that'll get you to center.
Kendrick's asking in the chat, is this the third example of the sleeve draw, number 3 in our example from the book?
Yeah, that's correct. We're looking at the third example. We've only filled in 2, and we're filling out number 3. Right? And so it's giving us all these dimensions to get to here, right? The center of this 6 inch column.
Yeah, but if we keep going, right, and go to column, it says column line 1 to 5 is 23.9, right? And
Correct.
Then go to, and then take that 23.11, which was from column line 1 to column line, to 220, 23 feet 11 inches. So this is basically reiterating all of that already of the 23.9.
Right.
Yeah. So you can either just say column line 1 to 5, 23.9, right? Then that gives you.
I don't know why they're making it so hard though.
because they're not giving you a dimension of to get the center line off of column line in between column lines 5 and 6, like they did between column lines 1 and 2. They give you the 6.5 inches. They give
You're saying like the clearance or something? That
the center of the column.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't give you center of the column. That's just insane.
All right. Well, what it's telling us here is column number 1 to column number 5 is shown on drawing A3 to be 23'9". That's saying that from column 1 to 5 is 23.9, right? And then we added all this up from the center of the column to center of column 1 and 2 is 23.11. I mean, the center line of columns 1 and 2 to the inside room of 220 is 23.11.
Yeah,
So it's saying, yeah. So it's saying from here, the center line of this column, all the way down to the center line of 2.
No, go the other side of the wall.
To the center line of the room 220, right?
Yeah, but it's the other side of the wall that they're giving it to you. Because if you look, it says 8'6.5", room 223, and then plus 4 inches for the pipe chase.
Okay.
And then that's 23.11 off of column lines 1 and 2 inside of room 220.
Okay. So then they get the difference. They subtract those two, and that's 2 inches center line column 5 and 6 south to the inside wall of room 220. All right, so those 2 inches equal the column center line 5 and 6 north to room 220. So it's saying column 5 and 6 north to 2 inches to room 220 inside the wall. And then it says 9 feet equals room 220. And they're talking about this. Right? Yeah. So here is the 2 inches. Talking about this 2 inches to the inside wall. And then 9 feet. And then you go 2 inches to the center of the inside wall, half of pipe space between room 217 and 220. Okay, so you're inside. So that would be 9'4" inches. So pretty much they took 23.9, right? And they took the additional, they took this addition, they subtracted it, and they got 2 inches to the outside. Well, they had to go 2 inches to the outside wall, and then they got 9 foot, and then they got the 2 inches in here, and that'll give you the center line of pipe space north of center line column 5 and 6. So if you go here, number 3, all right, and we're dealing with a, what size line is this? Small. This waist line. This is waist. This will be on P3. You have a 4-inch wall. So it's asking for a 3-inch sleeve. So P3 shows a separate waistline for each sink and the water piping fed from above. A 3-inch sleeve for each waistline will be required. Right?
Yeah.
So the diameter is 3 inches. 2.5 inches slab. I'll put else. Floor. Elevation 326. And then we're going with, so column line, columns number 5 and 6 to center line of, well, we got the pipe is, oh, north. I forgot to put north. So I'm just gonna add it in here. North to center line of pipe is 9 foot 4.5 inches. This is the waist. All right.
So I believe it's waist. Yeah,
You know what?
waist.
Yeah. Right. Waist. All right. Now we gotta find east and west. So thus 9 foot 4 north of column 5 and 6 is the north-south dimension for the waist sleeve for room 220. All right. It's just right down. Okay. So the north-south dimension for the 3-inch waist sleeve that serves room 217 is the same as the room 220 because the sleeve are on the center line of the same pipe space. The casework drawing figures 229 shows the sink center line to be 62-inch east of the 4-inch finished wall in the room 217, allowing 3/4 inch for plaster. The east-west dimension for the 3-inch waist to service room 217 is 62 and 3/4 inches east of column 6, center line of, or 16 inches center to center line of the 3-inch waist sleeve for room 220. See figure 230. All right. So it's telling us right here, it just freaking flat out told us that the east-west dimension for the 3-inch waist sleeve to service room 217 is 62 and 3/4 inches east of column 6. All right, or 16 inches center to center of the 3-inch waist sleeve for room 220. So you have a 16-inch center to center. So now you have your two sleeves, right? You got 16-inch centers, and since you have one, right, you have 62 and 3/4 inches, your 16-inch center. So the other one's going to be at 46 and 3/4 inches. So now you have your sleeve for 2. So your north will be the same, but your east-west would be there. Or your east-west is one's 46 and one's 62 3/4. So that covers. There's 2 of them right there. So now we have 4, 3 and 4. Hey guys, I'm gonna hit the restroom real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Joseph, you asked how many points is the sleeve worth. We'll have to wait for Chris, but it has the potential of being worth 3 homework assignments because of how many units are in this section 6 through 8.
9, 4.
Well,
17 to 20. 20.
if anyone else needs to make a quick restroom break, this would probably be a good time.
Okay.
Travis, you got a question?
Yeah, so the sleeve schedule is due tomorrow, right? What about aren't we supposed to be making a drawing off that sleeve schedule as well? That's not due tomorrow, that's due some other time, or?
All of it together is going to be due the next Tuesday, midnight.
Oh, next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I thought he was saying Tuesday as in tomorrow.
No, he's saying next Tuesday.
Because remember, you guys
Okay.
get 7 days to complete it
Yeah.
after we teach it.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, and I remember you saying that. He was like, no, it's due Tuesday, which Tuesday is tomorrow. I just want to make sure. That's
Yeah.
good. That gives me more time.
So,
Yeah.
So 10-6, guys. Midnight. How
All
about that?
All right, cool. Thank
Better
you.
for a date. Welcome. Ten seven, we'll have the study session for the midterm. 10-12, that following Monday. That's the 12th, I think, right? Yeah. Will be the midterm. Midterm will be on identifying different parts of the drawing, compasses, spooling, and where to find stuff on different drawings. It's a short, it's not too long.
So you're saying spooling, like as far as making spool sheets, kind of
Yeah.
spooling?
You're not going to make a spool. It's just like if which way is pointing up, which way is pointing down.
Oh, okay. Just like as if it would be on
Symbols.
the drawings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I was wondering, because I know at the end of last semester they're making spool sheets out of the ISOs we were doing. So.
Yeah, that was more focused on that part of that class, right?
Well, that class ended up going. It was something else, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
Yeah, it'll be multiple choice. It'll be online.
So you guys get that? You guys write it in, number 4, 3 and 4 for the waist for room 217 and 220. Share the same wall.
Darren, you got a question?
So I wrote in for 3 and 4 for the second distance. We going east of column line 6 and 10, right? For distance B for sleeve number 3 and 4.
So it'll be
east of column 6 and 10, correct?
5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Yeah, it's a 9'4".
No, I got that one. I'm talking about the second part. The second one. The distance B for.
Oh, I see. North.
We'll be going east of column 6 and 10 to get that 46 and 3/4, correct? To the center line of the waves.
From center line of column 6.
Yeah, from 6 and 10 going to get in the east and west direction. Right.
It's on that'll be, if it's going east west dimensions for 3" east of column number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct. East 6 and 10.
All
That's
right.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got back from take a little restroom break. I forgot. All right. So the TR room 219, the exam room 218, and the vacuum outlet for room 223. Those will be the next ones to find. All right. You're gonna be using the drawings P3 and A3. A3 to find the dimensions, P3 to find the locations of where it is, your penetrations.
We got one question from Diana.
Okay.
Hey, so the second one, the 16-inch one, it's 16 inches east of the one that's 62 3/4 off of column line 6, right?
It's the center to center. So it's giving you a center to center dimension from waist to waist,
Right.
from center of sleeve to center
Oh,
of sleeve.
So what I'm saying is the first sleeve is going to be obviously 62 and 3/4 inches off of column line 6, right?
The east
Yeah.
of column line 6. Yeah.
And then the second sleeve is going to be 16 inches east of that one? Or,
Correct.
okay. Cool.
Yeah, you go to your first one and then the second one.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Let me double check on that one though. See on my if you look at your if you ever want to double check, just look at your drawing 2 in the back of your book, and if you go to column number 6, let me go right here. Right, so you'll go to your column number 6, and then here it is, 3'10" 3/4" to your first one, and that's your 1.5" waist at a 3-inch sleeve, and then 16 inches, which is 1'4" to your next one.
Kendrick, you got a question?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
So it's not really a question. It's more like a statement. I still haven't quite caught on how to like navigate it. You know, like I'm trying to follow along week after week with you, you know, through the chapter 2, just to locate whichever sleeve we're trying to locate. Is there any kind of like guideline you can help me with? Because week after week, I'm following along with you. Like I said earlier, once it's just me by myself, it goes away. So like, can you give me something like a set point to start from? And I know you already told me this. It went over my head because I was at work doing other things. But can you give me like a set point where I could start from that I could recognize? Because like as I'm following along with you, it's still like week after week, it's hard for me to like catch on to actually where you are. And by the time I do catch on to where you are, you've written it down on the sleeve schedule, and I don't know what to write on it still. I wrote the 2 that you put down only because I saw them, like I said last week. But when you're writing them down, I just haven't caught on to like where you're getting it, and I see what you're writing down. I see what you're writing down from the book, and I see it on the sleeve schedule. But when it comes to me doing that, I haven't found a way to like get this going by myself. Like as far as reading the book, you know, I don't have a problem with the big spiral book and looking through that and trying to find things. Like I feel I can do that. But over
I think what you're trying to say is I say, hey, Kendrick, find this one for me. You'd be like, where do I start? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I would be like, and I want to know why. I want to know. That's why it's more like a statement. I'm just telling you where I'm at. It's not really a question I'm asking. It's like I'm telling you, you know, if you were to say, hey, find any one of those red dots, what I'm doing is I'm going back to the textbook and I'm trying to find out what, like, you know, and it's not, you know, it's not reciprocating or whatever you call it. It's not going back, and I can't back and forth with it for some reason. And it's
Right.
not the plans. It's more the textbook, like the textbook, reading this text, the book.
The way they explains it, it's not clear to you, correct?
It's honestly, David, it's very clear to me. I totally see it. Like I can see it.
No, I'm talking about the way the book explains it. It's sometimes it's not clear to you how the book explains it. I mean, the book is giving us step by step because the book knows that we don't know how to do it. So it's giving us how to do it each step by step. But I know what you're saying. It's like if I say, hey, can you go find this one right here? Find me those two penetrations right there. Give me the east-west dimension and the north-south dimension. And then you can be like, okay, what do I do from here, right? That's you're like, okay, what do I do from here? Or you know what to do from there.
You know what?
Start it, or you get lost in between, or is it the whole thing, or in the end?
I'm gonna tell you what my problem is. Trying to start from just the plans, looking at the plans, like the red dots or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not the problem for me. The problem is on the textbook. I honestly, bro, I can't even tell you what the problem is. Like I said what I said, and that's where I'm at. Like I can't even explain it no more than that. Like when it comes to reading this book,
look, Kendrick,
I just can't get it together. Basically, is what I'm saying. Like,
look, Kendrick, do you review the other videos and the resources?
No, I don't look at none of those. I just right here in class, I pay attention right here. This is the best I can do right here. Those videos for me, it's like a waste of time for me, kind of. Like I more want to stay in the book so I could figure the book out, like basically whatever it takes. Like if I can't understand it from what you guys are putting out, I can only get in the book by myself. Is basically what I'm telling you is where I'm at. Like there's really nothing more I don't think you guys could do on this as far as to get me to understand this. Like I just want to let you know that like when the assignment gets turned in, whatever gets turned in is that was 100% regardless of what it was, like of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm giving it 100% and nothing I can't produce, dude. Like I don't even know if I should even be in this class, honestly. That's how I'm starting to feel, like, because like you said before, the class I took before this, it didn't even go that far. So yeah, like
cut short.
Where I'm at now, like I'm not intimidated by the plans. Like I can get on the plans. I was doing it with the tutor and I was following along. But when it comes to this textbook, like I don't know which page to look on for what, and we turn through so many pages. I can't figure it out. Simple as that. And I just want to say that before the class ended. So, you know, I know I didn't ask any questions or I really don't have any questions. It's just a matter of me figuring out how to navigate the damn textbook to look for what I need to look for. And I can tell you right now, by next whatever week, I'm gonna run out of time. I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to complete it. Sad to say, but that's how I feel. It's nobody's fault. It's like it's my fault, really. Like I don't know if I'm not smart enough to do this shit or what. Like I don't know.
All it does is take time and patience and effort, man.
But we only get so much time for these assignments, and then you know time runs out, like it did with week 5. You know, it ran out. Now this is the second week in a row I'm gonna run out of time, and I'm trying.
And what it is,
it's not like I'm running from it.
You kind of like me. You kind of need the instructor right there, side by side, kind of with you when you have questions to actually point and explain where you lost at, so you can get like a visual.
It gets to the point to where I'm by myself, and then after I'm getting it, you know, a few minutes, and then a few minutes later, it's like I can't do anything anymore. I could only like go back to where I was understanding it, and
Yeah.
move forward. Hopefully, get a little further the next time. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I had trouble at first, but I just had to slow down and kind of really think and, kind of read in this book a little bit and then come back with questions, if I get stumbled up on something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even have questions, dude. I feel like I could do this. It's just when I'm by myself and I'm looking at the textbook, I'm bombarded by it.
I think it's more of you getting nervous and messing up. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I don't want to do it the wrong way. I want to do it the right way. Once I can't do it the right way, right there, I can't do nothing.
That's what it is. You're nervous. You want to do it the right way the first time. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, but we all have to stumble. That's part of that. That's the part of the learning. You know what I mean? We may not always get it right the first time. We can't expect to get it right the first time.
I'm a third year though, right? So they want me to know this type of stuff. So I can't really say that I'm a third year if I can't do this though, right?
Man, not per se. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say, because they're not gonna, because you gotta understand the way this class is designed is if you were a foreman and you had to figure out these problems on the job site. Okay, so think of this class like if you were a foreman. So they're not going to expect you as a third year to be a foreman.
Right. Okay.
But the reason why they're giving you the class is so you can apply this when you come into these situations as maybe taking over a job or being a foreman or trying to figure something out on the job. That's the reason why, and so you can just have the knowledge. They're not by any way, shape, or form expect you to go on the field and figure these problems out, because you're not going to do it. You're not going to be able to do that.
But you guys do it. You do expect me to be able to finish this sleep schedule though, right?
We do expect you to try and see if you can definitely complete it with our help.
If I could do one, I could do them all. Like that's how I feel. And the problem is I can't pull one out the hat. So none are gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could do one, Eric, I could do all of it. I feel like I can. And I feel like I can do it. It's not gonna be done in the time frame that we have. Maybe for some of the other students that are like fourth years or they know they've been doing this type of work, but like me, I've never. I mean, I've seen plans before, but like that's not the problem. It's the textbook. It's just I don't know, man.
Well, I know for me, this textbook, it's not the greatest thing, and it's a little choppy, and then just the way they explain certain things. As you heard me and David, kind of discussing, well, why are they giving us this dimension, instead of not giving us that dimension? It'll flow a little better. But that's
hey, look, Eric,
they wrote the
check
book.
out. So where I find myself is I read the red parts. I see the red parts, and from that, add 2 sleeves to your background drawing. Like, and I'm like, okay, what's my background drawing? That's on page 62.
Right.
Add this information to your sleeve schedule. Add these 2 sleeves to your background drawing. Like some of the things that they're asking for, I'm looking for I don't even know if I have them, or I don't know what they're asking for. It's to add this information to your sleeve schedule. Step 2, the north-south dimension. Like I can read that, but okay, room 218. So from there, do I go look at room 218? I don't know.
Yeah. So exactly. So it's exactly what the book is saying. That's exactly what they want you to do. So if they say go to drawing A2, A3, and S3, then you would go there, and then you continue to read until they state what they want you to look at. And you're gonna have to go kind of back and forth to try to figure out, oh, okay, now I understand what they're stating. I found what they're stating, Okay, so now go and move to the next sentence.
You were following along with David earlier, Eric.
Yes. Yes.
So where did he start? Where did he start? So I could just go back to where he started from.
So
and
we
see if
started actually. We started from the beginning. We started from 52. Well, we started from.
No, for number 3, for sleeve number 3.
Well, yeah, because we started all the way back from sleeve number 1 today.
Okay, I understand that, but I'm talking about
From sleeve 3.
Just that. Yeah.
It starts off on
the waist.
Yeah. That's on 59, where it says locate center of sink in room 220, east of column number 6.
Okay, on page 59 it says locate.
Yeah, locate the center line for sink in room 220.
Okay, I see it. It's on the bottom right side.
Yeah, bottom right hand column. Yes.
So right there where it says locate the center line for the sink in room 220 east of column number 6. That's where I start to navigate to find all the information I need for number 3, right?
Yeah, 3 and 4. Yeah. So they're gonna give you 3. So first they're gonna give you 3.
Number 3 and sleeve number 4.
Yeah, they're gonna give you 3 for the most part, and then when you get to 62, it gives you 4 2, because it's
and that's distance A and distance B for both, for 3 and 4.
For 3 and 4, they have the same north-south dimension, but the east-west are 16 inches in spread different.
Okay, I hear you.
You see here, these two, they're telling you to locate these two.
Okay,
right?
we stop?
So if we're going north, they both end up in the same center, right?
Same center.
But going this way, that one stops there and that one stops there, right? But if you go north, they both end up in the same center. But going this way, they stop at 2 different locations.
Yeah, you're moving ahead of what my thinking is, though.
So it's telling you right here to locate the 220, right? So you go to your drawings, and this is room 220. Right there. And you're looking for the sink.
So what I'm
Sink.
trying to I'm not, that's not the problem right there. The problem is with me, it's the textbook. So what I'm asking is, on page 59 where I start reading for column 6, that's going to give me what I need for sleeve 4 for distance A and distance B. If it says something about the north or something's the same, is that distance A?
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's first going to give you distance A first.
Okay. So the distance A for both is the same, you're saying?
Yes.
And then I would just have to find distance B for 3 and 4, and they're going to be in different places.
It can be different.
They tell you where it's at on page 62, second paragraph.
Yeah, you just gotta get the.
If I read along from where you said how much confidence you have in me that I'll be able to find what I'm looking for if I do what you're telling me. Because I'm just that's all I can do is I'm gonna just start reading it and try to just get it like.
Yeah, and then if you go ahead, if you read it and you highlight your answers, then you can fill it in. Then you can just go ahead and fill it in. See, right here, you can highlight your answer. You can highlight your answer.
We're being given in the book like that. That's
they tell you first. They explain to you how they found it, and then they give you the answer in the book. After they give you the answer in the book, you can highlight that, and then you can put it in your sleeve schedule. Then you go over here, and here it's telling you that there's a 16-inch difference in center line, right?
Yeah.
And it gives you the answer here. One's at 62 3/4 and one's at 46 3/4. And how you can verify that is in the back of the book on the drawing number 2.
Yeah.
Where it has all the answers. You can find it here. That one's 3'10" and 3/4, 63 3/4, and this that's the 16-inch center to center spread, and then you have your 5'3" and 3/4. Right?
Yeah, I was flipping around through the book a lot. I wasn't able to really get right to it. I'm gonna just start from this point and see if I can fish this one out. If I can fish this one out, I feel like I can fish the rest of it out and have something done by whenever we need to have this turned in.
Right. Well, remember, the book's gonna give you the answer.
Yeah, I need to get
right?
into the.
Just try to in between, try to read in between, and try to analyze it, how they got to that answer.
Got you.
And that's why we flip back and forth, because if it's saying, oh, we did this, well, let's check it out how they did that. So we flip back and forth in between the drawings just to get to this answer.
Got you. Yeah.
And then sometimes if you don't really understand something, I tend to keep reading and look what the next thing they're trying to get me to understand, and then I don't understand the first part, but I understand the second part.
Yeah.
And the second part will allow me to understand the first part.
Cool,
that makes sense. You know, so if you just kind of keep reading a little bit to the next little paragraph, you know, it'll start making sense a little more. But I think to me what I'm getting is the language that the book uses.
Yeah.
Love. And that's a big thing. I'm gonna definitely see how we can
catching on to some of the terminology the book is using. Actually, some of a lot of this shit is.
Yeah, it's because it's just outdated, or you know,
around it for like a few years, like doing plumbing for like a few years. But some of this stuff I just ain't never seen it, you know.
Right? No, exactly. No, I totally get it. I totally get it 100%. Because some of it stumbles me up. Like, what are they talking about? And then I have to read, and then I'll look a word up, and then I'll get, okay, this is what they're talking about.
Yeah, if it's stumbling you up, imagine how I feel, man. I'm freaking out.
I know that's why I'm telling you what I'm telling you.
All right, man. I'm gonna navigate this and get up with you on Wednesday. Okay. Hopefully we can do tutoring again on Thursday, and that's it for me, man.
So, guys, if you haven't, go ahead and make sure you sign out.
A lot of people were asking that second radiant heat. You should have pointed out that on figure 226, it gives the spread between the two radiant heat sleeves, and that the north and south would have still been the same.
Say it one more time.
That a lot of people were asking about the second radiant heat. So when we went over the sleeve of the radiant heat, you probably should have pointed out that the north and south would still be the same as far as the dimension line for that, but the spread between the two is on figure 226. So your second radiant heat sleeve would actually be 1'6" for your spread, center to center. And your north to south dimensions would still be the same on both of them.
Well, continue.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but.
So you have an inlet, you have a return in the supply, or one's going up and one's going down.
Isn't your let me see, look at the drawings of it.
To go to the M3.
Yeah, and if you look at your M3, your up is actually in a different spot. I believe both of those are circulating for the radiant heat.
Yeah.
And so you actually have the two sleeves for the radiant heat 1'6" apart from each other. Let me go back to M3. Okay. Yes, because see, if you look, you've got your 3/4 up that actually would go to the next floor is up above that.
Down.
But you've got both of the ones that are the one going down between the two. and looks like they break off to the sleeves. Or are you talking about this one sleeve that goes down in the middle of to both of that?
No, the book says you have to find the 2 different locations for that.
Yeah, those are 2 different locations.
That's what I'm saying. So you've got 2 sleeves coming up in that sleeve. Like if you look at drawing 2, even you could go back to refer to drawing 2, in which they should be the 1'6" apart also.
Okay, let me look at drawing 2.
In figure 2?
Drawing 2.
Come on, drawing 2.
How it has them both. And I was wondering, why is it on drawing 2 they don't show sleeves on it? And then how would you also, how you're attaching it to the wire mesh? Is that wire mesh attached inside the slab or on the bottom?
On the face of the slab.
Okay. So it basically be like on the bottom of the slab, you mean, and the sleeve goes through the slab, correct? The face of the slab. Oh.
Well, yeah. See on the drawing number 2, it almost
looks as if they come straight up.
Yeah, it doesn't make it look like it's a sleeve.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I noticed that too.
And that's what I was thinking, because it's fastening to the mesh. Are you sure it would be a sleeve and not running straight out?
Well, it's still got a 90 down and 90 up. I mean,
they're both going up. It depends. From 1 to 2, it's going up, and from 2 to 3 is going up.
One is going to 3, and one is coming from 1.
But yeah, it looks like both. Because both these
so it is what it's saying. What you're saying here is one is.
Both are coming up right there, and then if you look on your M3 drawing, because both of those are coming up because they're actually downward lines. Both of them are. That's radiating throughout. It's circulating throughout.
In the M3.
So you got your down in the center.
Yeah.
And then because that separates out, that goes down, hooks on, and comes down into in 2 spots. It drops down. Your upward one isn't even on your drawing if you're drawing 2, because that would go to your 3rd floor.
So that end one and that first one.
Yeah, because if you actually do the go off drawing 2 and check your dimensions, your first one the top one, the east one is actually the dimensions you gave. Yeah, your other one, the more west one, is 1'6" off of that. Because if you look at your scaling from not your scaling, but your dimensions between that first corner and that second corner, it's 1'6". Then it looks like you got valves and something else going there. Because isn't that what those middle dots would be, just before the center one? Because they look like valves.
Yeah, like a little station.
3.
So being how that station would be the down station, you would have the 2 down sleeves going through, or whatever.
Well, this is calling out 16, but then on drawing number 2, it calls out for 18. It calls out 18-inch spread. If you look at the drawing number 2 in the back of your book.
Oh yeah, that's the 18-inch spread. My bad.
Yeah. So
but but how does that work out? That's different than even different than your because you've got it's 18-inch, a foot and a half. Still same thing. A foot and a half, 18 inches. Same thing.
And it doesn't have the middle one just because that's a station.
Yeah. So your second radiant heat's going to be a foot and a half.
It's going to be in the same pipe space.
Yeah.
But it's just going to have a
second sleeve.
Yeah, it's going to have a different east-west. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just like the one we just did at the end right now with the same pipe space. It's
and I mean, I don't know if it would confuse people more or not, but I mean, you might tell them, that hey, that this dimension might be the same, or it would be the same as that.
We didn't go over We didn't go over where the other one was. We just
Yeah, 'cause
followed
it
the rest
was-
of
it was
the.
just
Yeah,
what-
but you had a lot of people that were asking where the second radiant heat was
Yeah.
in,
Okay.
in the chat. So I was just letting you know that maybe that's
thank
something
you.
you want to
Yeah,
address.
well, we can go over that.
Tutoring or Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Actually, we'll get to that part in the book on Wednesday. So
Yeah.
once we get to that part in the book, it'll be covered.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
guys.
All right, thanks.
Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, guys.
All right, have a good one.
All right, they're all gone.
All right, they're all
All right.
gone. Holy moly! What the heck?